Welcome to the Happiness Matters podcast with me, your coach, Julia Seal, where we explore the puzzle of whole-being happiness as professional women in our midlife, how to coach ourselves and live into the best version of ourselves, resilient, creative, and thriving, no matter what. Welcome to the Happiness Matters podcast. I'm Julia Seal, your host and coach, and like you, a professional woman in the middle of my life. In this welcome episode, I'll introduce you to what this podcast and Happiness Matters is all about, and of course, what exactly I mean when I say resilient, creative, thriving, from puzzle to happy in midlife, no matter what. If you're a first-time listener, first of all, this podcast is a coaching journey and it's a happiness journey. It's a journey with me through your midlife, from the unique experience of menopause and the various puzzles caused by the transitions and changes in your life over this time, into your next phase, the rest of your life, the best of your life on the other side. Turning 50 and the years following are an opportunity to reflect on your life so far and to decide how you want to move forward. Perhaps it's gone well up until now. You're successful, strong, and mostly happy, but you're wondering what's next for you. Or perhaps your life hasn't gone as well as your young self imagined, and you're seeing this as a chance to change direction, even shift your very identity in your career, in your family, even in how you look after yourself, how you are in the world. Menopause itself is a huge phase of change. You're lucky enough to go through as a woman. Yes, and I do mean lucky. Just like puberty and pregnancy, our bodies and brains go through profound changes. These physical changes spark yet more change, deeper, more lasting shifts, emotional, mental, spiritual, so much change actually, that your midlife is the most incredible opportunity to use as a metamorphosis experience for yourself. It's no wonder it's called a midlife crisis, or the middle pause, or your second adolescence, or middlescence, or middlescence, your next phase. Your being, your very wiring is now supporting you to do this. The biochemical and physical changes, as well as midlife's big events like death and divorce, illness, retirement, empty nests, and aging parents, and all the emotions that go with them, actually set you up for change to be easier than ever. Midlife is your best opening to go from stuck and puzzled to your deepest happiness, the best you've ever had in your life. It's your time now to build your inner power and resilience, to craft your deepest whole-being happiness, your very own version of happiness, to ensure you don't regret the years past, to build your legacy for others and contribute to the world in a whole new way. It's your time to venture on a new journey beyond your current self, embracing all of what you are today to live into your best self. So what Happiness Matters is all about, and what we're doing here on this podcast together, is looking at our midlife as professional women around the world. We're exploring what it means to be in the middle of our lives and what's next for us. As I said, we're on a coaching journey, a happiness journey together, to explore how you can put all this knowledge, your own life, my clients' favorite tools, and coaching with me to good use in your life. It's a way to navigate this next journey, a way to embrace whatever life throws at you with equanimity and grace, to thrive in midlife, creating your very own jigsaw puzzle of whole being. So we'll look at topics specific to midlife, and many of them painful, like our aging brains, dissatisfaction with our midlife relationships, and our desire for more meaningful connections, the overwhelm and sadness of caring for aging parents, boredom and exhaustion with our work, the changing relationships with our children as they become adults, and our own shifting identity. We'll look at the nature of happiness, the truth of happiness, how our brains are actually wired for hedonistic happiness, and how we can take advantage of this purposefully and intentionally, how the science of happiness can help us choose what's best to focus on, how to reinvent and re-envision your midlife so you're crafting your own version of wholebeing happiness. And we'll look at the profound nature of happiness, how our difficulties and issues are our very best guides on our happiness journey to that passionate, heartfelt calling to something more, something bigger, and more profound and meaningful for your life. Along the way, we'll build resilience in all the areas of your life, addressing the inevitable cracks that have formed as you've lived your life, and you're now stepping into self-leadership. We reconstruct midlife and all that it means to you, reinventing happiness and revitalizing life. We'll expand your deepest happiness so you're thriving, and together we'll go beyond what you currently believe possible for yourself as a midlife professional woman of the world. Sounds like fun together, doesn't it? Here on the podcast, I explore how you can free your mind and unwind your problems, build your life energy, tap into your own innate wisdom, and connect deeply to your life's purpose. I introduce my process of puzzling your way to midlife happiness, your puzzling journey in all senses of the word. Going from puzzled, confused, stuck, bored, unhappy, and in emotional pain, to creating and crafting your very own jigsaw puzzle of your deepest happiness. I share a way for you to easily access the power of coaching, transforming the difficulties of your life through coaching with me. I offer you my most effective practices, skills, and tools from the world of coaching, and I show you my simple and easy way to coach yourself. Yes, coach yourself. It's practical and powerful for your life every day. I look at how you can hack your own brain for happiness with tools backed up by scientific research. How to take the best from the world's wisdom on the pursuit of happiness, from Aristotle and Buddha to Nelson Mandela and the happiness revolution. And how to integrate all of this with all that you are now that you're here in your midlife, embracing everything that you are so far, your successes and failures, your joys and disappointments, the beauty and uniqueness of you. We'll also explore things like why relationships are at the crux of our inner happiness, what makes our lives meaningful and our jobs purposeful. How do we tap into our innate wisdom, and what is it? What can the early philosophers tell us about our inner lives? What insights into the mechanics of our brain do we get from mindfulness meditation? What about Buddha's views on emotional pain and human suffering? What does emotional intelligence, EQ, really mean, and how can we cultivate it? How can we get over our unhelpful habits and get real traction behind those endless New Year's resolutions and fresh starts? What does it mean to have an operating manual for others? And why is this a surefire recipe for our unhappiness? And of course, some fun stuff. What's the reason for Coca-Cola's Choose Happiness campaign? What on earth is laughter yoga? Who's behind the famous yellow smiley face? Why silence is so special, and why we should all breathe a lot. The idea, the very heart of Happiness Matters, is that with me as your coach and fellow traveler, you can cultivate a very special kind of happiness, midlife happiness. Not a positive thinking whitewash over anything and everything unpleasant or negative, but a purposeful, intentional commitment to bring forth and live into the greatness of who you are, who we all are as women of the world. Whole being happiness in midlife, no matter what, awakens us to this calling, and I want to be with you on this journey, helping you solve what's puzzling you, and helping you create a new, exciting, delightful jigsaw puzzle picture of your happiness. Useful tools, new skills, fresh ideas, unusual insights, different perspectives, and coaching together every step of the way so that you can bring to life, integrate, and deeply embed the changes you want in this next phase of your life. Now, Series 1 in the podcast covers the first phase of this jigsaw puzzle happiness journey and the first steps in how to coach yourself. It's all about how you're choosing to define and assess and vision your midlife happiness. I like to think of Series 1 as the outer edges of your midlife happiness puzzle. Defining and assessing and visioning and my happiness wisdom concepts are the core concepts affecting your happiness in midlife definition, and they're the 4 edges that make up the sides of your midlife jigsaw puzzle. In your podcast player, you'll find 56 episodes in Series 1. It sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But there are 6 core episodes, the first ones, and the rest, all other 50 episodes, are there to add depth and richness, to inspire you with food for thought, and to spark your curiosity. How do you want to think about, dream about, and define your midlife happiness and what it could be going forward from now? I look at the basics of setting up a coaching journey for yourself. And it's also an exploration into how to coach your unhappiness, the negative emotions you really don't want to feel right now, and importantly, ways to question and expand what you currently define as happiness. All of these episodes assist you with defining your goal, your robust definition of your happiness, one that's worth your while pursuing and directing your life towards. We all want happiness. It's what we all search for. And Series 1 is your way to ensure you're not stuck on the treadmill of hedonistic pleasure seeking that our brains are wired to crave. Instead, you're crafting your own unique version of whole being, and one that is well worth your while. You'll notice that Series 1 is work-focused. I used many examples from my clients' working lives in Series 1, using work as the opportunity for your growth and evolution, your playground for change. Cultivating your happiness purposefully and intentionally is started at work for many women in midlife. The least likely place for many people, and yet often the easiest place, the less emotional, the less raw place to get started in your happiness journey. And I really encourage you to listen back to the past episodes, those 6 core episodes, and the 50 following ones that expand on the core. You can also download my free overview of Series 1 and experiment with all the free coaching tools that go with Series 1. And you can find this on the website Happiness-Matters.coach. Now, Series 2 adds the corners to your happiness jigsaw puzzle, the essential corners that hold everything together. Series 2 is all about brain management. It's what's next after the first step of defining, assessing, and visioning. So it's the next step in how to coach yourself on your midlife happiness journey from resilient to thriving. In Series 2, I'll be walking you through the 4 basics of how to manage your midlife brain. Here I delve into the key tools and skills you need to manage your brain on purpose and intentionally. We're going to look into meditation and mindfulness, think, feel, act patterns that run your life behind the scenes and beyond your awareness, your mind-body connection, and how your brain's actual structure sets you up for happiness and unhappiness. I will still use work examples from you as it's of interest to all of us professional women, but I'm now going to focus in on all your relationships. In midlife, it's relationships that need the most attention. It's your relationship to your loved ones, friendships and missing connections, and how these shift, change, and even end. These social relationships are the biggest contributor to your lasting happiness and one of the easiest ways for us to shift where you are right now and impact your happiness today. And it's most definitely the time to explore the relationship with yourself, the one area of your life that you might have paid very little attention to so far, putting family and work first. The COVID-19 pandemic has thrown relationships and social connections right into the spotlight, hasn't it? Too much time with certain people might be widening the cracks between you. Less time with others might be showing you things about yourself that you've not seen before. There couldn't be a better time for us to explore your resilience, creativity, and thriving in relationships. There's no better time for us to reinvent what relationships mean to you and how you want to be in relationships in your midlife. For my long-time listeners, another change comes with Series 2. We're also changing the frequency of the podcast. New materials now going to be released every second week instead of every week. This was a request from you, so you can use the materials at an easier pace. In between, we'll be connecting and coaching together more directly through my weekly coaching emails and on the various social media platforms. Please sign up for these. All the details are on the website Happiness-Matters.coach. This change gives us the opportunity to look more deeply into the brain management topic, exploring it from various angles, but also practicing applying the insights into your life, sharing how it works with others so we can learn and be inspired by each other, and of course, coaching with me. If you like what you hear and want to expand on the basics introduced here on the podcast, if you want to coach with me personally on your own specific midlife difficulties, please sign up on my website, Happiness-Matters.coach. Just click on the yellow button at the top called Coach with Julia. I have two options if you want to work one-on-one with me. My short, powerful relationships turnaround program to address unhappiness in your family, work, social, or love relationships right now. So it's like your relationship reset. And then my midlife crafting in 108 days, where we deep dive into your life over 4 months together. Please book a free mini session with me this week so we can meet each other and decide what's the best option for you. A short, powerful midlife relationship reboot or 108 days of reinventing you and your midlife. Okay, so who is Happiness Matters, and more specifically, who am I that I can say resilient, creative, thriving, from puzzled to happy in midlife no matter what? Well, to start with, I wear a few professional hats that might interest you. I'm a consultant in employee engagement, working with organizations on strategies to engage their people authentically and sustainably. I am fortunate to work with companies that are recognized as best practice organizations worldwide. In this work, I've spent a lot of time exploring and understanding what motivates you at work, from strong trust relationships to purposeful work, whatever your professional skill set. What became so obvious to me over the last 25 years or so is that these management words, engagement, innovation, and ownership, cannot happen without our own personal happiness in our jobs every day. So I then expanded my employee engagement work to include coaching, where I could work with individuals to explore deeper and more personal concerns that affect motivation and happiness. How cognitive energy, emotional energy, physical, mental, even spiritual energy influences how happy and successful you are in your life as a whole. I chose this route for my career because coaching is such an effective tool in change, especially in growing and evolving ourselves. It's a powerful, thought-provoking partnership between you and me. It's a creative process that enables you to break free from old patterns and inspires you to step into your full potential. I've been working as a leadership coach to executives and academics for the last 12 years. I am also a relationship systems coach and a certified life coach. On top of all of that, I'm accredited as a professional coach with the ICF, the International Coach Federation. Of course, there's much more to my career story, from graduating and starting out as a journalist, working with companies from Japan to UK to Namibia, to a 17,000-mile road trip across the United States and living in 5 African countries. And this is all on the website if you want more details. But Happiness Matters is more than just what I've experienced in my consulting and coaching work. It's also a deeply personal journey and how I've explored and am still exploring the nature of my own happiness. From an unexpected and painful divorce, family drama, and a midlife hearing disability, to creating a life filled with nature, meditation, and a lot of coaching myself every day. I am honored to have met the Dalai Lama. I'm endlessly curious why we love communicating through the emoji family. I look for smiley shapes in gridlock traffic, and I photograph the same beach every time I drive by. I am fascinated with our ongoing pursuit of happiness, and I am passionate about the worldwide happiness revolution. I currently live in Cape Town, South Africa, with my Scottish husband Fraser, who you can hear on the outro. He looks after all the technical aspects of Happiness Matters, and my stepson Thomas, as well as my huge giant schnauzer Yeti, who you've probably already heard barking in the background. He has a lot to say about happiness. And of course, I am a menopausal woman in midlife. Or actually, I'm a post-menopausal woman. I've been through menopause, and I'm beyond the big 5-0. For me, menopause was a rocky ride. I was newly into my second marriage. I'd become a stepmother. I demolished my little beach cottage to build a new home for us all. I forgot how to sleep. And the roller coaster of declining hormones saw an inexplicable weight gain. I mean, how can all those years of ordinary eating suddenly turn into a sneaky 15 kilograms, like 30 pounds? Where did those wrinkles come from? And where have my eyelashes gone? Not to mention such mental fog. And then my father died, and my darling mother came to live with us. So these midlife transitions became a unique opportunity for my own evolution, an opportunity to look at everything I was up to that point and to choose on purpose and intentionally how I wanted to step forward. An opportunity that so many women miss in the busyness of normal life, until you wake up another 10 years down the line wondering where your life went and why you're so dissatisfied. And this is what I want for you as a professional woman navigating your own midlife transition, to grab this next phase as the best opportunity ever, to create happiness for yourself, deep contentment inside, to fix and create relationships that feed you on every level of your being, and to pivot your work in the world so that you're spending your time, your precious human life, doing work that is meaningful, where you're making a meaningful contribution and living into your life with all the passion of your being. On this podcast and in coaching together, I will share with you what I've learned and applied in my own life and with my clients. Happiness Matters is my journey as well as the journey of my clients, and now I hope it's your journey with me too. There really is no better time to do this coaching, this exploring, this evolving, whole being happiness in midlife together. Bye for now. I can't wait to meet you.
Thank you for joining us on this Happiness Matters podcast, coaching your whole being happiness in midlife. To join Julia for more of her midlife conversations, subscribe for free to her coaching notes by email and to this podcast. Search for Happiness Matters in Midlife to find us in your favourite podcast player app. Once you're subscribed, both of these will be delivered to your device automatically. To find all of this, click the subscribe menu of our website, Happiness-Matters.coach. That's Happiness-Matters.coach. COACH. And thanks again for listening.